used my bartending tips to fund my business because no bank would give me a loan. I used to send her and a bunch of her friends out to clubs and bars and do flash mob dances and hand out Foxy Box swag. You have to be the first, the best, or the only to be successful in business, I believe. One of our stores did $70,000 in sales, and we do free services all day long. We get people through the door and then we sell them a package. A laser sales guy walked into my store, and I went, okay, sure. I just signed, sure, I'll take a machine.
Zenoti presents Growth Diaries, the fascinating stories behind the best brands in beauty, wellness, and fitness. Hosted by Sudhir Koneru.
A hardworking, motorcycle-riding, ultra-capable, badass boss babe with endless ambition. That's how our guest today describes herself. And her life story is a testament to what happens when ambition meets authenticity. At just 12, Kyla was brewing her coffee at her mom's bakery, and her journey since then has been nothing short of adventurous. She's been an actress, a mental health advocate, launched a clothing company, and a bartender. You could still catch her behind the bar, even as Foxy Box was hitting its stride. Fast forward to today, Foxy Box Wax and Laser Bar has exploded from a tiny space in the back of a jewelry store in Victoria, British Columbia, to an absolute sensation with 18 locations across Canada and 3 more on its way. It's a remarkable story of growth, fueled by Kyla's knack for connecting with people, her creative flair, and her genuine love for what she does. So buckle up, folks, because today we have the founder herself, the hard-working, motorcycle-riding, ultra-capable, badass boss babe with endless ambition, Kyla Dufresne. So welcome to Growth Diaries, Kyla. So, it's been very impressive getting to know you, and very motivating for me personally, because you probably represent like one person who was very unlikely to be successful, and so I really want you to start with sharing some of your founding story, because you said you were bartending and doing that, and today you run this huge business, and it's a motivation for anyone who's sitting out there thinking, my life's a dead end. Well, you could be anywhere you want to be.
How the heck did I get here?
How did you get from bartending to just your first store in the first place?
Yeah.
Did that
I can
happen?
give you even a little bit more backstory. So I'm actually a high school dropout. Education was not my thing. I couldn't sit in a classroom. I didn't like working at jobs where there was a ceiling, like, oh, this is only how much money I can make, right? Like, I've always been a bit of a hustler, like, where can I go next? So I started Foxy Box 12 years ago now, out of the dining room of my shared house. Back then, the wax bar concept wasn't a thing. In the US, it was. You got European Wax Center, they've been around forever, but in Canada, that wasn't a concept. And I used to go get my waxes out of a lady's basement. She had a little home spa. And if I didn't pre-book with her every 3 weeks, I couldn't get an appointment. She didn't have online booking. You have to text or call and leave a voicemail and wait to be called back. So I realized the missing niche market of a convenient place to go get waxed. The only other options were a high-end spa where you're going to be in a room with an esthetician that probably didn't want to be there, didn't want to be doing a Brazilian, dimly lit room, spa atmosphere, you spend $100 and then you get a terrible wax, or a nail salon, which probably wasn't the most hygienic. So I was a bartender at the time. I put myself through school. They showed me one Brazilian in class. I went, okay, you're certified. So while I was learning to wax, I used to offer my clients a shot of tequila or whiskey so I could practice getting busy or getting quick at Brazilians. And so, I started to get a little too busy for my roommate's liking. This was in the dining room of my shared house. And they went, Kai, you can't bring strangers to the house anymore. So I found a space, downtown Victoria, a little 10 by 10 room in the back of a jewelry store. I put a sandwich board out front. And people just started to show up. We got so busy. People like, a wax bar? There's a place to get waxed? And I started to get really busy. From there, I needed my own space, a waiting room, things like that. And then I got to really bring my vision to life of Foxy Box. So I had red walls, and we looked very different than what we did back then. But it was cool to bring the brand to life. And I mean, oh my God, grew and grew from there. I think I was telling you before, I used my bartending tips to fund my business because no bank would give me a loan. You know, I was a bartender at the time, so if anyone's ever been a bartender, you know you make a lot of cash, but on paper I probably made like, I don't know, 20 grand a year maybe, you know? So banks were like, you got to start paying taxes on your tips if you want to get loans. So anyhow, I used my tips and then I used my profits from that to continue to grow. And I mean, fast forward 12 years, we've got 18 locations across Canada, 3 more under construction, and we're taking over one box at a time. That's always been my mission.
And it's impressive that you did this completely on your own. Like it wasn't, you didn't even get any large capital because you started in your home to back of a jewelry store before you opened your own store. And, you know, obviously it took a lot of hard work. I'm sure you were doing a job bartending while trying to get this thing going, etc. But you know, to do that, obviously you had to find customers to come into your store and make it happen. In early days, I know you've done some very innovative things to find those customers without spending money on marketing.
Yes.
So you want to share a little more color and how did you do that?
How did I get people through the door? Well, first and foremost, bartending was the best platform for me to start my business because every customer woke up with a Foxy Box card in their pocket. So as I was bartending, I was like, oh, I'm also a waxer. Come see me, come see me. So that was a great platform for me to start the business. And then, like you said, I didn't have a lot of money back then to put into like, you know, someone gave me a quote for Google Ads and went, oh, do you want to spend $1,000? Who has $1,000 to spend on online? So I used to send out my team, you know, flash mobs. Do you remember those? That was a thing. Like people would go and do dances like in the middle of everywhere. Well, one of my estheticians, she was a burlesque dancer. And I really leaned into her strength and love of dance. And so I used to send her and a bunch of her friends out to clubs and bars and do flash mob dances and hand out Foxy Box swag. Anytime there was, the students came back from university, I'd send a team up there. I mean, you're supposed to pay for booths there. I didn't even think about that. I just went to the universities and handed out swags and coupons. And my most creative idea that I did was my burlesque dancer, April Ace is her name. She's a vivacious, boisterous, bubbly Italian young lady. And The Bachelor Canada was filming and looking for bachelorettes. And I knew they would pick her. She's just this beautiful, boisterous, like I said. So I paid for her flight to go to Calgary to apply to be on the show. They picked her. And all of the news in Victoria blew up. Victoria local on Bachelor Canada. And her opening scene was, my name is April Ace and I'm a magician. And so, I mean, when she got back from that show, everyone wanted to book in with April. So that was, I knew if we had her on the show, people would want to book in with her. So that was one of my most creative, innovative ways to get people through the door.
That's so interesting because it's like people would, you know, so many hacks and they call these in software, they'd say, you need to have growth hacks, hacks to make you...
Get someone on reality TV show, Studio. Yeah, you want Zenodi known, get someone on reality TV.
Super impressive that you managed to do that, both even in terms of the local community, the college and the flash mob concept and all that. The beauty, wellness and fitness industries touch our lives like no other industry does. And every brand that has succeeded in this industry has a wonderful story behind it. They have stories that engage, stories that we can learn from, stories that inspire all of us. And I'm here to bring you these stories and introduce you to the wonderful people behind these brands. So if you're enjoying this, do press like and hit the bell icon to subscribe, so you'll be the first to know when a new episode comes in. So that was then in terms of marketing and all that stuff. So today, for example, at your scale, how do you approach marketing? Because
oh boy, we're such a huge part of our communities, and I think that's something that's so important to me as we grow and scale is how do we impact the communities that we're in. So I mean, this pairs perfectly with marketing because we're always throwing events or charitable partnerships, and that's growing attention to our brand as well. Every year on International Women's Day, we've done this 5 years in a row now, we hold an event called Foxy Fest. And we get dancers, spoken word poets, musicians, and we rent a venue in all the cities that we're in. And we raise money for local charities. So all the ticket sales go to a local charity. Some of the locations, they do in-store events, like someone did one of our stores in Alberta did like a tattoo flash pop-up, things like that. But we always do a fundraiser on International Women's Day every year. We also hold an event called Customer Appreciation Day every year. We do free services all day long at all of our stores. This last year, this was our 5th or 6th year doing it, we did $410,000 in system-wide sales in one day. One of our stores did $70,000 in sales, and we do free services all day long. We get people through the door, and then we sell them a package. So we do a big discount on bundles, but that's our way of saying thank you for continuing to choose us for your hair removal needs. You have to be the first, the best, or the only to be successful in business, I believe. We are the first and the best. We are not the only anymore. So how do we keep getting customers through our door and choosing us? And that is giving back to them. Customer Appreciation Day, so they get free swag bags. We partner with businesses in the community to give coupons and everything, so they get free swag bags. But we also partner with that, pair that with a big sale, so that generates revenue for our franchisees as well. So yeah, lots of events we do.
A lot of times people, when you become bigger, they would just say it's like, you spend money on marketing and all kinds of digital stuff. The examples you gave
as well.
No, I'm sure you do that. Yeah.
Yes.
But then I'm saying the examples you gave are amazingly good ideas, which are easy for anyone to adopt and embrace, because one is this notion of totally free services all day long. Seems radical.
My franchisees, to convince them, were like, no, that doesn't work. It's not going to work. And it does. And so we go, let us show you. And it does. So yeah.
That's true. And then the local community engagement is something which I think, even as you scale up, is a very core value which businesses should retain, because that does pay off, is what I'm seeing.
Cross-promoting, always, I tell this to all of my franchisees as well. We facilitate events 4 times a year, company-wide, that we mandate. And then I say pair that with online marketing. So we do your first service free or 50% off if it's a larger area to get customers through the door. Now it's your job to wow them and get them into a Foxy fanatic and make them stay. But I always say, have your online marketing, partner with our head of marketing and do Google ads and Facebook ads, all of those things. But don't forget about the grassroots. What I did, get out in your community. Every restaurant that you go to, leave your Foxy Box card on the table, pardon me. Wear Foxy Box swag everywhere you go. Have your hat on when you're day off or out in the community. Don't forget about that grassroots piece, because people buy from people. So if people want to buy or they need a service, they're going to, oh, yeah, I met Kyla at this event. I'm going to go support her business. So, have that online, but get out in your community. Join the Chamber of Commerce, join networking groups, get out there and leave your cards and make your face known in your community.
Great. I think, the grassroots community work is just invaluable for businesses.
It's so powerful.
It's probably most productive way to continue to grow your business long term. So you started your own store initially, and we talked about how you got to your first professional full-fledged store. And then, tell me, did you ever decide early on that you were going to do franchising, and how did you find your first franchisees?
Yeah, so I knew when I started this brand, I wanted to start a wax bar called Foxy Box. I wanted to franchise and take over the world one box at a time. That's always been my theory and my motto since day one. I didn't know what the hell that meant, though. So when I sold my first franchise, I thought that it would be, okay, I'm going to sell to other estheticians because I was a waxer, and that's how I'm going to scale this business. I sold my first, it was a license agreement to 2 of my top estheticians. I didn't know what I was doing. I had nothing systemized. The relationship was terrible. So I put a pause on everything after about 6 months and went, okay, I need help. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just thought, okay, I sell your franchise and now you run the business and, So anyhow, I put a pause on everything. I stepped out of my business. I hired a franchise coach. We systemized everything from how to build out your store, your operating processes for everything. And then we went back to market. But we couldn't repair that relationship from our first partnership. So we said, either we'll buy back your store or you can keep your location and just change your name, but we've got to separate. They chose the latter, which I'm fortunate of, because I was like, I don't know how many, I didn't have money back then. I don't know how many, if you want me to buy you out, I don't know how many, I got to come up with this somehow. So anyways, they chose the latter. They still operate in their market. And then we went back to market, the most over-prepared as a franchise, because we worked with a coach and systemized everything. So when we went back to market, how I found my first one was our customer. She knew our brand. Our first 2 franchisees were customers. In-store advertisement is great. Doing newsletters through Zenoti, pushing that out. Hey, we're a franchise or franchise opportunities available in every piece of marketing, especially in your early days. It's going to be often your first franchisees, they're going to be brand fanatics. So they're probably going to be customers. But now we do a little bit of everything. I mean, we are still a young franchise, so we do many things. We go to trade shows. We've got 3 of our franchisees from trade shows, Google marketing. We've done Facebook marketing, and some of our franchisees have come from Facebook ads, but you'll get a lot of leads that love the brand but don't have money often from the Facebook leads, so our Google search ads have been more powerful. But really, again, same like a local store, getting out there and kind of trying a bunch of different avenues has worked for us.
So other than making sure the franchisee has the financial resources to do, what else do you look for in a franchisee to say, okay, I think this person I want to work with?
Leadership is huge for us, and community involvement. People that are, they need to align with us and the brand. Do your core values align with us? We're going to be married together. So, okay, do we like working with you? You know, as a franchising is like you're getting married to this person, right?
I like that analogy, getting married to.
I've heard someone said at a conference before, it's harder to get out of a franchise than it is a marriage. So, you've got to really make sure that we're aligned from a core level. And then, attributes that we look for in franchisees are they community oriented? Our most successful franchisees have been the ones that are out in their communities and making partnerships at the hospitals, at the universities, attending business events. Those are our most successful franchisees. So we like to take the DNA of our most successful partners and go, this is what we look for. Leadership is a great quality. Business skills is a bonus. But we teach you all of that stuff, how to run the business. But leadership skills is important. Are you coachable? All of those things are important for us.
So it's almost like you have to go through. It's like interviewing, hiring a person. You have to go through a process to learn.
We date before we get married. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So today, for example, early days, obviously you were running stores and focused on customer service and all that. But what do you have to do today to support your franchisees? I mean, how do you work with them once they sign up?
I think I feel so proud of our brand for how we support our franchisees. Quite often we hear in the franchise world, oh, I've never even seen anyone from headquarters, or I don't know, like the support aspect. They'll sell you on buying a business and then there's no follow through. I really pride ourselves on the support that we offer. So, from signing, you have weekly calls with our COO. She walks you through how to open a business. Many of our franchisees have never opened a business, from incorporating to negotiating your lease, picking your space, all of those things. Then we help you with your build out, any contractor questions, we support you through those. Before you open your doors, we send a team to your store. We train all of your first fleet of magicians, we call ourselves, and front of house staff. So we're really setting you up for success. No one cannot giggle when I say magicians.
I know.
And so we support you. We're there for a week. We're holding your hand. We're making sure that you're getting set up. And then after you've been running for a while, we send someone back once a month for 2 months to check in on you, help you with staff reviews. And then you have weekly calls with our franchise business coach. On top of that, we send out a KPI report, which we pull from Zenoti. So we send weekly, every Monday, everyone gets a report, total sales, laser percentage, what are key performance indicators that are important for us to watch, new customers through the door, client retention. And we share everybody's numbers from all 18 locations to everybody. We're a fully transparent company. We believe that that's why you're in a franchise. We can support each other. If, Uptown did $20,000 in laser sales, I'm probably going to want to know how the heck they did that last week. So, we put those numbers in there to go, reach out to each other and lean on each other. Did you do a flash sale? How did you get that, those new customers through the door, what have you. So. And then my favorite part of our support is every month we do a meeting with everybody in the system. All of our franchisees, managers are invited as well, the whole headquarters team. And we send out a form before that we ask everyone to bring a win, a struggle, and a great idea. And then we say, and we can open up the mic if you want to take the mic as well. We've gotten some of our greatest ideas from these meetings. I facilitate it. The struggles, I mean, if someone's got staffing struggles or something, then we bring it up on the call and we open it up so that other people, chances are, Sudhir, if at your store you've had a struggle, one of the other 18 stores probably has had that struggle, and we can help coach you through it. So we do that every month, and it's a really fun call to get everybody, see everyone's face and get them all together.
I think the keeping it simple, like the framework of a win, a struggle, an idea, is a good way to elicit the right reaction, because a lot of times people don't share, but when you make it simple, they probably share with you.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting that you share all the metrics across the franchise, because I've always been a believer that transparency helps.
Yes.
And many people hesitate to do that.
We believe that, it creates credibility and trust, and so transparency is huge for us. We believe we can learn from each other. I know a lot of companies don't do that. They're afraid maybe of some of the lower performing stores, but it's an opportunity for them to be reaching out to high performing stores.
What are they doing that's working for them?
Exactly.
Stuff. Yeah.
We are working on a mentorship program as well for some of our most successful franchisees, partnering them up with some of our new franchisees to help them grow and get there as well. So.
Cool. And then when it comes to employees, like how do you, of course at scale, you do make sure the quality and service is there. How do you do that, both in terms of measuring their performance and in terms of the training and
how do we keep the best magicians? How do we get them and how do we retain them? We are fortunate in Canada that we can train anyone to be a magician. So the hair removal industry is unregulated, which means we can train anybody. They don't need to be a licensed esthetician, which is to our benefit, because a lot of people that get into the aesthetics world is the Wild West, Sudhir. People teach different crazy things everywhere. So when we get people that know how to wax, often it's harder to retrain them in our method than to get someone that doesn't know anything. So we have a 5-day training program that's both written, video, and hands-on. So we can train anyone to be a magician in 5 days. And as we grow and scale, it's important to us that we don't lose our culture. So to work at Foxy Box, you have to have 3 things: a positive attitude, empathy, and you have to be self-responsible. If you don't have any one of those 3 things, you're not the right fit for Foxy Box. So early on, we did a branding retreat where we came up with our brand foundation. I went, okay, we know we're cool, but how do we maintain this cool as we grow and scale? And so we looked at those qualities that we want to align ourselves with, from our magicians to our franchisees, and went, how do we test for these things and how do we make decision making easy? So if we got someone in and we started training them and they were, late for an appointment-based business all the time, or, arguing back with, I know how to do this. Well, you just go back to those 3 questions, right? Do they have these 3 qualities? If the answer is no on any of them, okay, we don't move forward. So we've made decision making easy for our franchisees from the hiring level. And then, ongoing, we do reviews. So the senior tech, we've set them up as like a well-oiled machine. So they'll have a lead magician that helps do reviews and maintain the quality for our new hires as well.
Cool. For someone who didn't go to, so you didn't go finish college or
high school, even Sudhir.
High school, okay. You seem to have very good concepts of, when they say when you have only simplify things to 3 things, people remember, if you make laundry lists and all, they don't. So even your values and everything, you've brought it down to simpler ways of thinking.
It has saved us so much time, and same with when we're looking for franchisees. Okay, what are the qualities we're looking for? Do they have these attributes? Okay, no, you're not the right fit then. Decision-making funnels, we have 3 questions. Is it profitable? Is it going to make us money? Does it elevate the brand? And does it make us and other people feel good? That's my decision-making funnel. So if I have to make big company decisions, I just go back to that. Okay, no, it's not going to make them feel good, or it's not going to make us, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't do it, so.
Cool. And so when coming back to the employees thing, now the one is about training them and making sure they can deliver the quality, they have the right attitude and all that stuff. But you were also mentioning, do you want to expand on the KPIs, or what kind of metrics do you measure your employees by? And are they aware that these are the metrics, and how do they impact how much money they make?
It's been so long since I've been in the store where our franchise business coach really helps our franchisees with their staffing. But I know that we do have staff performance reviews, and there's, we've got sheets that they go over, so we help them set goals for themselves. So like product sales, they get commissions on product sales. So, okay, what do you want your sales to be this month, and then how are we going to help you hit that target? Client retention is a huge one. Making sure that they're texting and calling customers that haven't been in 4+ weeks. So pulling on reports on Zenoti, going back through their schedule, seeing who hasn't rebooked, reaching out to them. So I know during the staff reviews, they have a lot of things that they look at to help them. Cool. Yeah.
It's nice that you have your providers be actively thinking about reaching out to their customers, as you said, because they probably have a better relationship and they have downtime using that to.
If their schedule is not booked up for the day, we encourage that. Go back. Who hasn't been in to see you? Go back 5 weeks. Look at do you see them rebooked? No. Send them a text. You've got your SMS message, and then our managers will often mandate that they reach out to 10 people a day or what have you if their schedule isn't booked. But encouraging them to build their clientele and get people coming back in to see them.
Growth Diaries is brought to you by Zenoti, the software trusted by over 30,000 salons, spas, med spas, and fitness studios.
Now, you started your business with laser, where there was no laser in your business when you started. But when did you decide to add laser? And then, again, comes back to you didn't know anything about laser, I'm assuming, so you had to go learn. So why and where?
Why? Yeah, I wanted laser hair removal, so I got a machine. Everything I've done is my own vanity. Laser we brought on about 5 years ago. I was always super nervous to bring on laser because I thought that it would cannibalize our business. I thought if we bring on laser, then people won't come in for waxing. Boy, was I wrong. Bringing on laser, I had just been thinking about it. I call myself a master manifester studier. I had been thinking about laser for some time, and then a laser sales guy walked into my store, and I went, okay, sure. I just signed, sure, I'll take a machine. And that's how we went to market. Laser has opened up a whole new opportunity for us. It's a higher ticket item. Our margins are much higher, and it didn't cannibalize our waxing market. It opened up a whole new door of a new customer because they've got a little bit more money. Laser's more expensive than waxing. So it opened up a whole new demographic that we didn't have access to before. So, that was a game changer for our business model. We saw our sales spike after we brought on laser.
Yeah, and today 40% of your business is laser.
40% of our revenue is laser,
It's like, you must be one of the first few to have gone down that path, because exactly the same reason as you said, most waxing businesses worry that they'll cannibalize their business if they do go down the path of laser. The fact that they're two different customers likely is also an interesting insight.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Great. Cool. And so where do you see your growth going forward now?
Going to keep taking over the world one box at a time, Sudhir. We recently sold a master franchise in Quebec, so you'll see us popping up there. Our master franchisee is set to open 8 locations in the next 5 years across Quebec. He's got bigger aspirations, but we've said, okay, let's shoot for 8, and if you can do more, great. We're going to keep growing across Canada, and we're working on our U.S. documents right now to come to market in the U.S. next year. And then I'd love to be in UK and Australia as well. I would love a Foxy Box down under. So Australia, we need to get there. But I really do believe Foxy Box is a global brand. We're going to be everywhere.
Yeah. So you obviously built your business with so much energy and passion, and anybody at Zenoti always keeps saying that, okay, Kyla, she's like a bubble of energy, But I didn't realize till the last time we were talking, you have a baby, you have
he's here
everything.
with me.
So tell me more about how do you manage that?
I hire people that don't have babies, Sudhir. That's what I do. I have a team of people that don't have babies. Yeah, he's 11 months old and he is busy, and I'm the only one that can put him to sleep. So he's here in Vegas with me. My sister is here to be my nanny for him. I don't think I took a break. Cheryl, my COO, was in the hospital 3 days after he was born, filling me in on the company. I signed a lease for another corporate store 3 days before he was born. I just haven't stopped really, but I also am very fortunate that I have a team that allows me to do this. You know, I've got such great support. My husband is the most incredible support. I've got support at home and in business. So it's been natural for me. This transition has been natural. Just extra coffee is the only, that's been the only change.
And so if you look back, is there anything you would do differently in how you built?
Oh boy. You know, I've made some mistakes my first, kick at franchising, but I call those my Harvard educations. You can tell I'm a high school dropout because I call them my Harvard educations. Anytime I do, stumble, then I learn from those. So I don't know if I would do anything different. I'm excited to come to the U.S. market because I am excited to start from scratch and go, okay, how do I want to build this? Where do I want to spend my money? How do I want to build the headquarters team for the US? So knowing what I know now, I think is going to help guide my decisions entering a new market. But I don't think I would change anything. I think, those that has helped shaped where we are and set us up for our foundation.
Growth Diaries is brought to you by Zenoti, the software trusted by over 30,000 salons, spas, med spas, and fitness studios.
And in your industry, I don't know, is it hard to find staff, and how do you source and build a structure to
Again,
find?
because the hair removal industry in Canada is unregulated, we can train anybody with the right personality and those three qualities to be a physician. So coming into the US will be different because you have to be a licensed esthetician. Mm-hmm. So we have the luxury of not waiting for estheticians to apply. We can train anybody in Canada. So staffing has not been an issue for us. Our Victoria store put out an ad. I think they got 130 applicants when they put out their ad on Indeed, the other week. So right now, also, we're in a good time for people are looking for employment right now. So we have not really had struggles.
And is retail a material part, and how does that work out for you in your business?
For retail, like selling products, you mean?
Yeah.
Our percentage should be higher. Yeah, we should focus on that more. I hear that medi spas, hair salons, waxing products should make up a larger percentage. I want to say, you might know the stats, or someone might know the stats. I want to say it should be making 20 to 25% of your revenue should be product, because then you're not paying a person out on that usually, except for commission.
Yes.
FoxyBox, we're at like 5%, maybe 8%. Product is definitely an area of improvement for us. But we don't have a huge product line, and we're not like a facial or hair concept where in hair they can put a bunch of different products in and go, okay, you need to buy this now. Facials, this is what I'm using on you, use this. With waxing, we're just going, here's some oil after, you could buy it, but then it's going to last you, 6 months, so you might not buy it again. So we're just in a little bit of different industry that's not our main focus.
So why should a customer choose FoxyBox?
We're just so cool. Come on, Sudhir. There's a million reasons why you should choose FoxyBox. One, we are the best at waxing, but our mission is, we're not just a hair removal concept. We are a brand on a mission to help inspire and empower people to celebrate their uniqueness and rock what they've got. Our mission is to leave people feeling powerful and energized. And that is from our branding, when you see us online, from when you walk into our stores till you get your service. It's not just, come get your hair ripped out. We want to make people feel good. Our stores are funny. We have funny sayings we call ourselves magicians. In our treatment rooms, we have Viva la Vulva, don't beat around the bush. We have funny sayings everywhere, right? So you should come to us because we're fun and we're funny, and we also double as therapists. So if you're having a bad day, if I'm having a bad day, I go to see my favorite consignment shopping place. They make me feel better. Same with FoxyBox. If you're having a bad day, come to FoxyBox.
Somewhere I did read there was a survey someone did around waxing and women, and they said then when they asked women what do they feel after, people thought they'll feel clean, they'll feel whatever, but the reality, they said 80% said they feel confident when they walk out.
Yeah.
So you're focused on
they
saying
back a little bit, shoulders back a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. And if somebody was starting a new business today, what kind of advice would you have for an entrepreneur?
Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. I attend conferences whenever I go anywhere, same with here. I mean, I've got a list of people that I want to meet, and I'm going to meet them, and I'm going to make them be my friend. I'm going to get their cell phone number, and I'm going to say, you know, I've got questions for you, and we're going to connect later. But honestly, be a sponge for knowledge, be open, ask questions. You know, if you're like, my goal is to have 3 staff, okay, find someone that's done it and pick their brains. How do you do it? If your goal is to have 10 locations, find someone who's been there, pick their brain, you know? And so that would be my advice, is surround yourself with people that can help you, and be a sponge and be open, and just use, you know, network.
Cool. Well, while you built a company with a lot of character, is there a company out there that you admire most?
Oh my gosh. You know, we have some competitors that it's so funny. I'm friends with them on Instagram, the founders, and I just feel so proud of them. One of them I'm going to meet here at the conference, Lexi from Wax On. My friend owns the 10 Spot, Kristen Woods. And everyone, all of their brand, Flow from Fuzz, all of them, I just am like so proud of them. and it's a weird, like, it's like a sisterhood that I don't know if they know that we're in this sisterhood together, but like, I'm like, this is my gang, you know? Yeah, everyone is just, I'm just proud of all of them for crushing it. And yeah, all of their brands are super cool.
Cool. And do you have a favorite book?
Oh my gosh, I read so much, and I switch it between a whole bunch of different categories. But I will say Richard Branson is one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite entrepreneurs. He's a virgin. I wrote to him, Richard. I don't know if he'll ever watch this, but you know, reach out to me, because Virgin and plus Foxy Box would be such a cool co-brand. Yeah, I read his book, Like a Virgin, and he's got a crazy marketing brain like me too. Like, he's like wild and off the cuff. And so I really appreciate his, you know, style of marketing and branding.
Kyla, thanks a lot for doing this. It's been amazing. I mean, I always find it, you know, so much fun talking to you, because you're this bubble of energy and amazingly out of the box thinking in terms of how you've kept coming up with ideas for building Foxy Box. And I hope, you know, more people learn that there are interesting ways to grow your business, which is not traditional, and maybe not going to college makes you be so much more non-traditional in how you think. So
Yeah.
it's been wonderful to see your story.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Sudhir.
Yes,
It's always
yes.
fun talking to you.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Growth Diaries is brought to you by Zenoti.